Welcome to HeroClix's Roll20 HeroClix tutorial. This tutorial is going to show you how to create your own HeroClix game online using the Roll20 site. So let's get started. First, of course, you're going to need a Roll20 account. So make sure that you have one set up before you continue watching the rest of this video. Once you're on this screen, the first thing you're going to want to do is click on Create New Game. When you click on it, it's going to take you to this screen and it's going to ask you to name the game. And really here you can put whatever it is that you want to signify that this is going to be a HeroClix game. And you're going to click on this I'm Ready Create Game button. And this is the next screen that you'll see. If we scroll down, you're going to see the name of the room that we've created. You can rename it if you want. But what we're going to do right now is just click Launch Game. Once it's done loading, the next thing you're going to want to do is click on this page toolbar up here on the top right hand side. It's going to open a drop down menu. What you need to do is you need to hover over Players right here on the top left side, and you're going to get a menu off to the side. What you need to click on is the gear icon or page settings. This is where we're setting up our play area. You want your play area set up with 34 width and 24 height. If you're like me and you need a little color in your life to see things a little better, you can change the color of the grid right down here. I'm just going to go ahead and make it blue so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to see the dimensions 34 by 24 in blue. I'm going to click on Save. I'm going to close this menu and zoom out a little bit so you can see. So there we go. So this is our 36 by 24 play area. Here are some of the things that you can add to make this game a little more enjoyable. And I'll make sure to put all of these links in the description below so you have access to them. This here is a template that you can use to put underneath your map. And it's actually very useful because as you can see, it has a KO zone, resources like your sideline if you have any. Now, how are we going to go about getting this template here onto Roll20? Well, that's easy. With the power of technology, you're going to right click on this particular image, click on Save Image As. I'm sure you all know how to save images. However, just to make sure that we're clear, I'm going to still say the instructions anyway. Template here, that's what I'm naming this file. I've already created my particular folder that I'm going to save all of my files in, and I recommend that you do the same because we're going to be saving a lot of images throughout this tutorial. So there we go. This template was saved. Now I'm going to go to Roll20. On this tab right here on the right hand side, you're going to click on the one that says Art Library. You want to select My Library. This is where we're going to upload our photos right here. You'll see it load up on the right hand side right over here. And then all you need to do is click and drag on the image itself and then just drop it. I'm going to stick it on this corner here. You may not see it, and I'm going to zoom in to see if we're even able to see it. But I do want to show you that once you click on this image right here, you should see some handles, some very transparent blue handles that'll let you resize the map as you see fit. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to click on it to make sure those handles appear. There we go. And then just stretch the map. What we're doing is we're resizing it. I'm sorry, not the map, the template. After you do this, my recommendation to you would be to right click on the template itself. And you're going to go over to Layer. And you're going to select Map Layer. Essentially what you're doing is you want this to be at the map layer and you don't want it moving around. It's going to be stationary for the rest of the game, and that's what you want. We are playing this game on the objects and token layer, and everything else that we're not going to use, like the map and the templates, that you want it in the background and not moving. You want to make sure that you right click on it and you send it to the map layer. Next thing we're going to look for is the map itself, because this is just a template that's going to help us out. This is another website, of course, that I'm going to have linked in the description below. It has access to pretty much every map that's been made in HeroClix history. It even lets you filter by size, which is what I'm going to do because it's just much easier that way. 16 by 24 is the standard map size. It will automatically filter it. Let's go for indoor. And I'm going to select Justice League Watchtower. And if you remember what we did with the template, we need to do the exact same thing with this map. Is just right click on it, save image as, and I am going to name this map because I do want to build a collection of maps here eventually and upload them onto row 20. Going back to row 20, click on this upload button yet again. If it's starting to look familiar, it's because it's really pretty much the same steps. You find your file, you open it, it's going to save it on the right hand side over here. Once it uploads the file, you just click and drag. And if you remember, even if you may not see it, hey, this one is actually more visible. You can actually see these blue little handles right here, which is great because I wanted to show you what they look like right there. And that's what allows you to resize the map itself. So let me go ahead and do that. And this little lever right here, right at the very top, lets you rotate it because it will upload it upright and you want it side to side because that's the way that we set the map and the template up. There we go. So this right here is the play area and this is the actual map itself that we are going to be using. And don't forget, when you save the map and the template, once you drag the map and the template onto the play area, right click on the map and the template and you send it to the map layer right here. A cool thing about this website here is that on the left side, you're going to see maps and on the right side, you see row 20 assets. When you click on the right one, this is where you get the figures from. So I'm going to start with the Battleground Avengers versus Masters of Evil since it's a small set. We're going to do the exact same process that we did to save the template and the map, which is we're going to need to save all of these images individually by right clicking on them, clicking on save image as, and then of course clicking save. And if you want to rename the files, of course, you're more than welcome to. And now that our figures are saved, guess what? We got to do the exact same thing. So this is a little time consuming, but think of the benefits of being able to play HeroClix Online pretty easily with people around the world from the comfort of your own home. Next, of course, upload. We got to get all of these images in. One of the annoying things about this is that for some reason it doesn't let you do the control. I don't know if it's my computer or what, but the control select feature. So you kind of have to do them one by one. Instead of just selecting one, pressing open, waiting for it to upload, you can just as easily make a little room here and then just drag and drop these files. So that way, instead of having to do all of these one by one, it's just a lot more efficient this way. Work smarter, not harder. There we go. So they're slowly uploading. And then remember with the layers is that the game is automatically set to the objects and tokens layer. You don't want to select the map and background unless you're planning to move the map and background around. So you always want to make sure that that stays on objects and tokens because that's the layer that these characters work on. So I'm going to go ahead and set up here, dragging and dropping. I'll make Masters of Evil on one side and the Avengers on the other. And it's just, and it really is this simple. Just click and drag and drop. As you can see, I am not having difficulties at all. So the next thing to think about is that with HeroClix, of course, we need dials, the card itself for the special powers to tell us what they do. I personally like to have the figures that I play online, so I have the cards with the dials right there in front of me. However, I don't have every figure made in HeroClix, and of course, a lot of times when I play opponents, they have figures that I don't know. So what do? I personally like to use HCRealms, the units section, to be able to look at my opponent's figures, dials, powers, all that stuff, and I'm not so confused as to what my opponent is trying to do on their side. So what I usually do is I look for them and I add them and I create a team. If you don't know how to do that, I can show you how to do that very quickly. This is the Battlegrounds Avengers versus Masters of Evil set. All you have to do is click on the plus sign right next to the figure number. So if you're playing with 105A, you click on the plus sign of 105A. If not, you click on 105B. And so on until you have your opponent's team made. And then that way, if you need to look at your opponent's team, you can easily do so just by clicking on the figure. And you have the dial and the powers and everything that you need to be able to play HeroClix Online against an opponent with figures that you may not know too well. A couple of tips and tricks that'll make your life a little easier while you're playing this game online. The scroll wheel zooms in and out. So you need to do is just focus in on an area, use the scroll wheel, and it will zoom in and out as you move the scroll wheel up and down. If you hold left click over an area of the map, this is useful if you're trying to call out characters. Like, let's say I am trying to make an attack and I want to make an attack on Captain Marvel here. Let's say there's two Captain Marvels and I say, hey, I want to attack Captain Marvel. Well, which one? This one. And you keep it pressed. It's a neat little way to point out where you're targeting or what you're looking at if you're playing online. If you hold down right click, this lets you move the map around. So that way it makes it a lot easier to maneuver around the map and find specific things that you're looking for. As you can see, it's pretty easy to navigate with holding the left click wheel down. Next, let's look at the figures. Every time you click on a figure, you get this menu, this pop-up. This one down here is typically used for action tokens, as you can see. Has different types of colors. And to add one, all you need to do is click on it. And then to remove it, you just click on the same color again. These up here are typically used to enter modifiers or click numbers. So if she were to take damage and she's now on click number 4, let's say, I just type the number 4, press enter. And now every time I click on her, it tells me that she's on click number 4. Make sure that you discuss that with your opponent beforehand to make sure that you're in agreement as to what these areas are going to mean as you're playing. Like I mentioned, you can use these as modifiers to remember, like, hey, she's in hindering terrain, so I get +1. Or if they have tokens, any kind of tokens that they generate throughout the game, that this would definitely be useful for that. Of course, we can't play this game without being able to roll dice. So my Ultron here is going to attack Captain Marvel. I got to roll 2d6 as per the HeroClix rules. Just got to enter a command here that says /roll space 2d6. You're going to see the die roll here on the right hand side. And similar thing. So if you're rolling for leadership, super sense, a shape change, anything that requires only only 1d6. Well, instead of typing 2d6, you just type roll d6 and it rolls 1d6 for you. And to determine line of fire in this game, sometimes we can get caught in a tricky angle that you may not see so well. Let me zoom out a bit here. Let's see if Ultron can see Captain America. Pretty sure he can, but I just want to show you this tool over here on the left side called Snap to Center. When you click on it, you're going to see it change to blue. That means that it's active. And all you need to do is just click on it and drag it. And it even counts the squares for you. So it even tells you if it's within range. And as you can see, it's a clear line of fire to Captain America. And I'm going to move Ultron over a little bit here. And now let's try this again. And draw right to Captain America. You can see it passes the edge of that elevated terrain. So I won't be able to draw a line of fire to Captain America. And these characters in the starting area are too far. They're out of reach. And hey, I got line of fire to Captain Marvel's here. Awesome. Don't forget to go back to the select tool to go back into the normal mode, because otherwise you're going to be stuck with this ruler wondering, why can't I do anything besides draw a line of fire? So make sure you go back to the select tool. Last couple of things that we're going to do is here is the link for this campaign. This is the link that you use to send to other people via Discord, email, some sort of private chat system that you have. Once they get the link to join, they're going to join your game. However, whoever you invite will not have access or permission to move these figures. You need to actually give them permission to be able to move these figures and play with you. And it's actually very simple to set up. Let me zoom in on the Avengers so I can give my opponent permission. When you click on a figure, at the bottom left, you see a gear icon. This opens up the token settings, and at the settings, you can click right here where it says controlled by, and then select the person that you want to control this particular token. So again, you click on the token, you click on the settings, you click on controlled by, and you go to all players and then save settings, or whichever you prefer. Just make sure that you save the settings, because if you don't, they won't be able to actually grab the tokens or move anything around, and that way you're able to play online. I hope this tutorial was useful for you and you put this to use. And of course, this means that now Casual Clixin will also provide some HeroClix Online content as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you're notified when my next video goes live. While you're playing, don't forget, if the dice don't fall your way, at least try to win fellowship. Thanks for watching.